My neighbor just dropped off his overgrown pothos, asking me if I have a solution for this. And to be honest, I don't really, because this is nothing I normally encounter. Yes, but I thought this is a perfect opportunity to do something that's not part of my normal process. Normally I grow my plants up moss poles, so I never get to this state of mess. But most people probably do not grow on moss poles, or at least most beginners are probably not growing on moss poles. So I feel like this is a scenario that a lot of people would be facing at home, and I want to use this opportunity to show you what I would do with such an overgrown plant. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I will start untangling this mess a little bit, but while I do that, I want to talk to you about this. I mean, first of all, I love that I'm known in the neighborhood as the moss pole guy. I mean, I think they saw me move hundreds of plants from my place to Timmy's, and eventually he stopped me. He's like, "So, I have a moss pole, can you help me with that?" And I said, of course, bring it over. Now, I was very confident that when my neighbor said he has a moss pole, he doesn't actually have a moss pole, but rather he has some sort of stake, which seems to be the case. This is on a piece of wood over here, so it's not actually a moss pole, which is perfectly fine. My neighbors are not planty people, right? It's not their full-time job to grow plants and grow plants on moss poles like it is with me. So I understand that they have a really low effort setup, which is actually something I always encourage non-planty people to have. If you want to enjoy this hobby, you need to enjoy it. And if you're overwhelmed by the amount of effort and you're not really after the major rewards that moss poles got to offer, then I think this is a much easier, more manageable setup and probably gonna bring them more enjoyment. Oh my god, there's some more here as well. So I think this is definitely the right setup for my neighbors, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to transfer this into a moss pole and suddenly, you know, they have to look after the moss pole. So I want to keep this really low effort setup, but just make it look a little bit less overgrown for them. And yeah, at the same time, as I mentioned in the intro, this is something I normally don't really get to do because I normally have a really regimented process, growing them up moss poles and doing chop and extends and so on. So my plants never get to this level of outgrown, or if they would, I still have an established root system in the moss pole and I can just chop it and start again. And I get asked probably weekly, and be like, hey, I've got this really messy plant that I inherited from somebody, or I was gifted, or came at a really good price. What should I do? And I don't know, but we're finding out together today. That's good, no? Okay, so basically these are all of the really long vines that I have freed up. And then down here, we've got some shorter vines as well. And I think the goal for those will be to just redirect them back onto the stem as well. Like this piece of wood. Oh, this one is rotten. If you look at this, it had a bit of rot. So this one can be water propagated. I'm sure we'll have some propagations later as well. But I think fundamentally we need to create, sorry darling. I think fundamentally what we really need to do is we need to create a little bit more height. So I want to extend this pole. Now that's obviously a bit hard because it's a wooden pole. I can't just extend them like my normal moss poles, but I've got an iron bark pole here that's also wood, and I was thinking I could maybe just screw it on here and then ta-da, it's taller. Don't want it to be super tall, again, because I don't want to create like a hassle for my neighbors where it's now a safety hazard and it's falling and so on. Just extend it a little bit so that we have a little bit more room for some of these plants to extend. It's just held in there by the actual plants right now, but let me just be real simple about it and just screw it in there. I don't know why, but this is working so well. Okay, done. I mean, it's not the prettiest transition ever, but we're working it. I'm gonna use twine and or this green wire to now kind of display the plant nicely. The green wire would probably be my preference because it is green, so you can see it the least, but it might also harm petioles a little more, but see how we go. This one's pretty soft and is coated, so I don't have to worry about, hey darling, so I don't have to worry about rust. Let's have a look at this. So, and it might look a bit odd at the beginning, but the goal is to just wrap it around here. And no, I usually hate doing that. It's not necessarily my style, but keep in mind, we're aiming for something different over here. I don't usually like twisting vines around like this because that is just not how things happen in nature, right? In nature, a plant does not twist around a host tree in hindsight. In nature, this plant would grow up the host tree, and as it grows, it would root into the host tree. It wouldn't happen in hindsight. But again, I don't want to ruin all of the beautiful progress that my neighbors have made with this plant over the years. I just want to give the plant a little bit more room to do things. And I also don't want to give it back to them and it being super empty. So I'm trying to give them some sort of instant gratification as well, while buying the plant a little bit more time. These vines at the bottom, I'm just going to twist around the pot so they can all make a little bit more contact with the substrate, root into it, and hopefully reshoot lush. Alright, how are we going here? Of course, leaves are pointing in all directions now, but they will recover and reposition themselves. But I think we are also in a position to cut off some ugly ones. If I see anything that's damaged, not looking all too good, brown things like that, just cosmetic. I'm cutting off a lot of growth points as well, like these for example, because at this stage they would just grow ugly leaves. The leaf is already super damaged. I'd rather have it reshoot. That also buys them a little bit more time, right? And again, these leaves that are kind of now facing upside down, they will turn around with light exposure. Alrighty, I'm pretty happy with this. One last step. Actually, I didn't even look into the pot. Let's have a look. Looks good. Can't see any roots sticking out, so I'm assuming it's not super root bound. And it's one of these planter pot combinations where the pot hovers in the planter, so they can't overwater it. I've got some worm casting granulates over here, basically organic nutrient. I'm just gonna top dress the soil with this, so that with the next watering, that will be watered in, and then that should give the plant a little nutrient boost, because obviously we didn't repot it now. And given how leggy this plant is, I'm assuming this plant has been on here for a hot minute as well. Or in this pot. I don't think my neighbors have ever repotted that. But I don't think we need to. The plant looks happy and healthy. I don't think it's nutrient deficient. And even if it was nutrient deficient, we just fixed it with the worm castings, right? Feels moist enough. I'm not going to water that for my neighbor. But that's it. Yeah, I mean, that was actually much quicker than expected. To be honest, I did not expect the little extension with the wood to work so seamlessly. But this is what I would do with an overgrown plant like this, where you don't necessarily want to start from scratch, because we're not aiming for maturity over here, so I think there's no point in starting from scratch. If I would want to aim for maturity and I want to give this plant a moss pole, and now I'm going through the effort of making a moss pole and maintaining the moss pole, I would want my plant to take full advantage of the moss pole, right? I wouldn't want my plant to start the moss pole halfway up its journey and the bottom half of the moss pole is kind of useless. The plant is quite unlikely to root into the moss pole in hindsight. So that's why with moss poles, I think it makes sense to start it at the very bottom of the moss pole, so that with every node as it grows, the plant can root into the moss pole and take full advantage of it and then mature. Over here, we're not aiming for maturity. I don't know where exactly my neighbors have positioned this plant, but just given the leaf size, I know that it is not getting enough light for maturity. So I'm assuming they're not aiming for maturity, and I don't want to force them to change the spot that the plant is in now as well. I mean, I can't force them, it's their plant. I'm assuming they don't want to change the position of the plant to achieve maturity. I think they just want to keep the plant exactly where it was before, just have it slightly less messy and not hanging on the floor. And I think that's what we achieved, right? It is lush, and over the next couple of weeks, it will now start looking a little less messy as well by having the leaves kind of pointed towards wherever the light is coming from. And then as we get more vines, they have more of a support that they can use to kind of pin the vine towards. And then from up here, it can trail down and has way more room to go until it hits the floor. So I think I've achieved a good outcome for my neighbors over here. They don't need to change anything in the way that they care for the plants. It's still in the same pot, same amount of leaves, same everything, just instead of it being messy on the floor, we've just vertically arranged it a little bit better. They don't need to change the position, they don't need to provide any nutrients. I've already done that for them. So this is really like a super low effort setup for somebody who would like to have a plant but isn't necessarily a plant person. And then it being a pothos as well, they're really pest resistant and so on. So I know my neighbors are going to have a good time with that, and I know they won't have to do anything with this for probably another year. So I think that is a win for everybody. I actually took a couple of propagations over here, and maybe it is time for me to also try a pothos up a moss pole. I've never actually grown a normal pothos up a moss pole. The only one I have is my Mandula pothos, and I think this would be a candidate that could size up really quickly, especially outdoors. So I got something out of it as well. Thanks so much for coming along. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a nice comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.